Good afternoon, ladies and a few gentlemen. I am honored and thrilled that I can speak to you while you eat. So go right ahead. Don't let me interrupt the food. And by the way, some of the best food in the world that Jerry prepares for us. We're very fortunate. Before I get to a few thoughts here, I want to remind you again, we have 2 tickets for everyone to the Fever playoff game this Thursday night. Right here where you're sitting, we'll be playing. There'll be a court right where you're sitting. We want you to come. There's also where the tickets are. I've got a handout sheet for you. It's short, it's sweet, it's about leadership skills, it's about empowering others. I'm not from Indiana. Can you tell? Not even southern Indiana. I was born and raised in the South. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee, home of the Grand Ole Opry. I sure wish I could sing because I'd be performing there if I could. Grew up and we moved around. My father was a traveling salesman. We lived in Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. Picked up an accent in all 3 states and have yet to let it go. Graduated from UT Martin, went on to UT Knoxville, still bleed orange. I'm sure you've heard the song, Good Old Rocky Top. I'm sorry, I'm not, like I said, I can't sing. But love the fact that I am so proud of everything that Pat Summitt has done at the University of Tennessee. The winningest coach ever in the history of basketball, men or women, and it happens to be a woman, so power to the women. Yes, let's give all powerful women a hand. It was about 40 years ago this fall. I dye my hair gray. Most people don't, but I do. It was about 40 years ago this fall that I started my coaching career at Austin Peay State University in Clarksville, Tennessee, right after I'd graduated from UT Knoxville. I don't know how many of you have ever heard of Austin Peay. Raise your hands. It's okay not to have heard of it. With a name like Austin Peay, you would have to remember that. He was a former governor. I started my career in 1970. I coached volleyball, basketball, tennis, taught 8 different PE classes, was the cheerleader sponsor for men's basketball and men's football, and it was really a wonderful time for me. I made $7,000 and I thought I was rich. Of course, back then, $7,000 went a little further, didn't it? 40 years ago. We had no support. As a matter of fact, the athletic director that hired me, he said, yeah, you can have teams, but I'm not going to give you a budget. You don't have any uniforms. So I had to scramble and scramble and scramble. And I ordered a set of uniforms, and it took them 4 years to figure out who ordered them, but we had a set of uniforms. We weren't very good, but we played because we loved the game, and we loved to compete. We didn't have access to university vehicles. We had to go in my car, and I had an old red Chevy Impala that would hold about 8 people. If you didn't have a good practice, you didn't get to go. We couldn't spend the night in motels, so we would take bedrolls, and when the game was over, we'd sleep on the gym floor. So I learned at an early age how to deal with adversity, how to persevere. We didn't have training equipment, like tape and all that stuff to wrap the ankles, so I would slip in at night into the men's locker room and steal. I called it borrowing back then, but I look back and I guess it was stealing. Thank God for Title IX. I coached before Title IX, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with Title IX. It was an education act passed in 1972 that created tremendous opportunities for women, not only in the sports world, but I'm convinced it's had a huge impact in the corporate world. Title IX, the right to vote, Roe versus Wade, Equal Pay Act, 4 pieces of legislation that have had an enormous impact on my life as a woman. Every night I say, thank you, God, for Title IX. But at Austin Peay, we didn't have Title IX. So I could have the gym before 6 a.m. or after 9 p.m. at night. There was none of that equality, none of that sharing. So I guess when you look back, I'm probably most known for being one of the best cheerleader sponsors that there's ever been at Austin Peay. I drove the cheerleaders all over in football and men's basketball. Men's basketball was really good back in the 70s. We had a guy named Fly Williams that came down from New York. He was better than Magic Johnson. Is good or better than Larry Bird. Did you hear that, Larry? He was really, really good, and Fly Williams put Austin Peay on the map. I mean, he got us to the Sweet 16. We were headed to the Elite Eight, and I came up with the motto as the cheerleader sponsor, "The fly's open, let's go Peay." And that is a true story. Some of my stories are a little shaky, but that one is true. And I thought I was going to get fired. And then we got a write-up in Sports Illustrated, and I got a $500 raise. So that was a wonderful time for me. After I left Austin Peay, I went to the University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, Gone with the Wind, Scarlett O'Hara, my, oh my, oh my. I lasted there, as liberal as I am, I lasted there about a year and a half. And then I had the opportunity to go to the University of Miami, Florida. Wow. Ole Miss to Miami, Florida. I didn't realize I'd left America. I mean, everybody speaking Spanish but me. Diversity, things that I had never come in contact. I'm this little old lady from the South. You know, if you don't go to church on Sunday, they come by your house to make sure you're alive. I get to Miami, and I've got just everything going on. But it was a great experience for me about diversity. I'll never forget the day we were huddled up, and one of my players, solemn, just as solemn as she could be, said, "Coach, I won't be here tomorrow. I've got Rosh Hashanah." And I went, "Oh, my God." You know, I was thinking of that disease where it breaks out on your face. I said, "Well, are you okay?" And she said, "Coach, Rosh Hashanah is a high, holy Jewish holiday." And I went, "It is? You're Jewish?" And I'm like, oh my, what a learning experience for me. Loved my time at the University of Miami. I was there for 9 years. And then finally I came back to America and helped build a national caliber program at Purdue University. And if any Boilermakers are here, I love you. If any IU people are here, you can stay for lunch. And then I got involved in professional basketball. I've traveled all over the world, the Olympics, the World Championships. I've had tremendous experiences through my time with basketball. Basketball's opened many, many doors for me. And throughout all this time, with my time at Austin Peay and Miami and dealing with adversity and fighting through things and seeing before Title IX and after, I've learned a lot of things, and I want to share them with you just quickly here. These are my keys to success, and I think they're going to help you not only in your corporate world, in your job, but in your life. And the first key I want to challenge you with is be the best that you can be. And I don't just mean in your job. I mean as a mother, as a partner, as a sister. In everything you do, start each day and say, I'm going to be the best that I can be. There are not any shortcuts. It's hard work to be the best that you can be. Set goals. Have a plan. A lot of my players, they'll set great goals, but then they don't have a plan to achieve the goals. You need a short-term plan, medium-term plan, and a long-term plan. Be the best that you can be. Success is spelled W-O-R-K. No shortcuts. Even a mosquito doesn't get a pat on the back till he starts working. Are you with me? Now that's true too. Be the best that you can be. Second key, expect to fail. Now there's a difference in expect to fail and try to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw up. You're going to fall short. It's part of life. Expect to fail. The question is, how are you going to handle failure? When you get knocked down, are you going to get back up? Are you going to get better? Or are you going to get bitter? You're going to fall short. You're going to fail. Greatest baseball player that ever played, he's been dead 40 years. Who is it? Come on, women. There's a candy bar. I'll give you a hint. Babe Ruth. No one has ever struck out more than he did. He's the strikeout king, but he's also the home run king. It's not whether you fall short or fail, it's how do you handle it. When I lose a game, I become a better coach because I find out where I fell short. Learn from your mistakes. The congressman that ran 14 times and got beat, do you know who it was? The 15th time he ran, he was elected president of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. I don't know if I could have run again. 14 times he lost. Thank goodness he got elected that 15th time. Imagine what our country would be without him. Be the best that you can be. Expect to fail. You're going to. Third key, overcome your handicaps. And I love this for women because women sometimes tend to say, well, I can't do this. I'm a woman. I'm too tall. I'm too short. I don't have enough education. I don't have this. I don't have that. Stop. Find a way. Don't let a problem become an excuse. Overcome your handicaps. Don't let anything stop you from being the best that you can be. No excuses. Be the best that you can be. Expect to fail. Overcome your handicaps. And as you journey along this road to success, know what real success is. And if I polled every one of you out here and said, okay, give me your definition of real success. Is it a 5-bedroom house? Is it a $150,000 job? Is it a 4-car garage? You know, it used to be a 2-car garage. Now it's a 4-car garage. What is real success? President of the company? What is it? It's peace and love. It's health and happiness. It's family and friends. Don't ever lose sight of that. I see it in coaching every day. I see it in professional sports every day. Wasn't there some football player's wife, she set him on fire because she caught him doing something with things. They're crazy. Drugs, alcohol, too much money. They lost sight of what real success is. Health and happiness, family and friends. I see it in my coaches. They'll do anything to win that championship. They'll sacrifice friends. They'll sacrifice family. But then they win, and they got that great, big, gigantic trophy. And guess what? They turn around to hug somebody. There's nobody there because they've sacrificed everything for a trophy. Have you ever slept with a trophy? No, I have not. I would love, though, to sleep with a WNBA championship trophy. Know what true success really is and never lose sight of it. Never sacrifice health and happiness, family and friends, peace and love. You have to know that so that you can move forward on your road to success. Be the best that you can be. Expect to fail. Overcome your handicaps. And know what true success really is. Those are my 4 keys for you to be the best that you can be and to be as successful as you can be. If you don't remember anything I've told you today, I know you'll remember the Austin P joke. Remember the 3 most important bones, B-O-N-E-S. The wishbone, you got to have a dream. The funny bone, laughter's a tranquilizer with no side effects. And the backbone, if you don't stand for something, trust me, you'll fall for anything. Thank you. I'll see you Thursday night when we play the New York Liberty. Thank you.